So let's talk about how you can completely transform your financial life. And here's the secret. It's not about some huge, overwhelming change. Nope. It's about the power of tiny, consistent actions, what we call micro habits.
Okay, let me ask you something. Does this sound familiar? You're making good money, the paycheck hits your account, but then by the end of the month, you're just scratching your head, wondering where it all went. It is an incredibly common, and let's be honest, an incredibly frustrating cycle to be in.
But what if I told you that this isn't really a money problem? It's actually a control problem. See, without a clear direction or a system, money has this funny habit of just quietly disappearing. You know, a fiver here, a tenner there. It leaves you feeling like you're constantly stuck in survival mode.
The solution, believe it or not, is actually pretty simple. Micro habits. We're talking about these tiny, almost effortless actions you take every single day. They might seem like nothing at first, but over time, they start to compound, creating these massive, life-altering results.
So, let's dive in. The very first step on this path. It's all about your mindset. It's about shifting your entire perspective from being just a passive consumer to becoming an active creator of your own financial future. So, the most foundational habit is this. Aim to create more than you consume. What does that mean? It means prioritizing activities that build you up, learning a new skill, starting a small project, over things that just kill time. And you don't need hours for this. Seriously, just 15 minutes a day is enough to start tipping the scales in your favor.
And check this out. This is some fascinating data from the book Rich Habits. It found that a whopping 77% of people struggling financially watch more than an hour of TV every day. But now look at wealthy individuals. 67% of them watch less than an hour. They're using that extra time to create value for themselves.
You've probably heard that old saying that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Well, it's not just a cliche, it's a critical financial principle. If your inner circle is constantly focused on scarcity and complaining, that mindset is absolutely going to rub off on you. And hey, if you can't just up and change your circle right now, you can still shift your average. You can curate your influences. Start intentionally reading books, listening to podcasts, and following content from people you really admire. In today's digital world, you get to choose your mentors. Fear and self-doubt are probably the biggest dream killers out there. This simple habit is the perfect antidote. Create a file. It can be digital or physical, whatever works. And every time you overcome a challenge or achieve something you're proud of, document it. When you feel stuck, that file becomes your own personal, undeniable proof that you are capable of amazing things. Okay, so with the right mindset in place, now we can build the engine. This next part is where we get really tactical. We're going to create a system to manage your money effectively without the stress. The absolute key here is to take daily discipline out of the equation. If you try to save what's left over at the end of the month, studies show there's usually going to be nothing left. The solution? Automation. Set up automatic transfers for the day you get paid. You can literally build your wealth on autopilot. And this just nails the point perfectly. Warren Buffett's famous rule completely flips the script. You pay your future self first, and then you live on what's left. It's a non-negotiable, foundational part of your financial system.
Now, paying yourself first means you have to protect your resources. And that includes your time and your energy. We are just psychologically wired to say yes to things, even when we're already completely overwhelmed. But remember this, every yes to a distraction is a no to your real goals. When you are crystal clear on your long-term vision, it becomes so much easier to say no to the things that pull you off course.
Now hold on, this is not about creating some super restrictive budget. It's just about getting clarity. The idea is to think of all your spending as falling into 3 main buckets. This simple little audit acts like a financial compass.
So first up, you've got your fundamental needs. That's stuff like rent, bills, groceries. Then there's fun, your lifestyle spending. And finally, and this is the most important one, your future. That's savings, investments, and self-development. Now, there's no right ratio here, but simply knowing your numbers gives you the power to look at them and decide if you like where your money is actually going.
Your greatest financial asset isn't your money. It's your knowledge, what they call your human capital. Just dedicate 1 hour a week to learning about money. Understanding concepts like behavioral finance, which is basically the psychology behind why we spend the way we do, is an investment that pays you back for the rest of your life. All right, we have the mindsets and we have the system. This final part is all about execution. It's about creating a blueprint that turns all these great ideas into real-world action. Just look at the difference here. I want to save more. That's just a wish. It's not a plan. But I will save £30,000 for a down payment by the end of 2027. Now that is a plan. Specificity is what turns a vague dream into small, manageable monthly actions you can actually take. Ever heard of decision fatigue? It's this real thing where our willpower is like a muscle. It gets tired. Think about Steve Jobs wearing the same outfit every day. He wasn't lazy. He was saving his mental energy for important decisions. The exact same thing applies to your money. Simplify and automate as much as you possibly can so you have the brain power left to make smart choices when it really, really counts. Relying on a single paycheck in today's world is a really fragile strategy. It's well documented that most millionaires have multiple streams of income. But the key is not to get overwhelmed. The formula is simple. Start one project, nurture it, grow it until it can sustain itself. Then and only then do you move on to the next one. You know, waiting for the perfect time to start something, that's the ultimate form of procrastination. The truth is, that perfect time never actually arrives. Confidence isn't something you have before you start. It's something you build by starting, even if you make a few mistakes along the way. And finally, the habit that really ties all of this together, the 1% rule. See, the goal isn't to change everything overnight. That just leads to burnout. The real secret to lasting change is aiming to be just 1% better each month. Trim one tiny expense. Find one small way to boost your income. These little improvements, the ones you barely notice, are the ones that compound over time, building you a road to financial freedom without all the overwhelm. So there you have it. You've got the roadmap. But the power isn't in just knowing this stuff, it's in the doing. So the only question left is, what is the one small step, the one micro habit that you are going to start today?